In today's episode of the Game Boys, the team visits a local flea market and explores nearby thrift and game stores in search of much-needed additions to their collection. Stay tuned until the end to see their latest pickups.
So right now we're heading to our local game store, Ziggie's. We go there pretty often, and he gives us some pretty good deals. We always know we're going to find something there, and he has solid prices. I've been looking for Kirby 64, the Crystal Shards, for a while. I'm a pretty big Kirby fan, and this cart just stuck out to me, you know. It's pretty clean for its age, and it was about $30. That's a solid price, and I honestly, like, anytime I go to Ziggie's, I don't mind giving him my money, because, like, he's a good guy, and I'd rather give it to him than some guy on eBay, you know. I mean, I'd rather support my local game shop than somebody on eBay.
Dragon Ball Z Saga Xbox. First.
Do you have any of the Streets of Rages?
You like the Switch?
Which one's this? Yeah, the second one's, I think, my favorite. Like Streets of Rage, Sonic, Shadow, Revenge of Shinobi, Columns, Hang On. It's not a bad cart. It's not.
Alright, so Streets of Rage 2, possibly my favorite all-time Genesis game. It's a damn good game. Thing is, Ziggie had this game complete in box. Online, I see it retail for about $30-$35. Ziggie's offered me 20. Oh, another good thing about Ziggie's, no tax. He offered me 20 bucks. Unfortunately, I only had 10 on me. But he says, yeah, I'll hold it for you, and I won't tell anyone about it. So, really good guy. I'm going to need to go back and get that game.
What you thinking, Rhea?
What do you mean about the Streets of Rage?
I'm looking for 2 or 3. Dude, I love both of those though.
No, 3.
Yeah, 3 is actually really hard to come by these days, but I'm actually kind of mad because I used to have it as a kid and in its box with the manual and everything, and now that would go for a good like 100 plus.
Don't we all have that story?
I used to have The Adventures of Batman and Robin on Super Nintendo. That one's great.
That's it, I'm sick of you guys out of here! Now! 1, 2, 3!
Yeah, so Ziggie chucked us out of his store.
So I'm Nick. I've been collecting for about close to a year now. I've been gaming for like as long as I can remember. Most things I like to collect is as you can see by my shelf, Nintendo, Sega, Mario, Sonic type stuff. My favorite genre is probably platformers. Lately I've been trying to get some more of the bigger first party Nintendo games out of the way. Just trying to get the games I played as a kid mostly. What's up? About to hit up the flea right now. How you feeling, Isaac?
Man, I'm just trying to get a churro. If I don't get anything, at least I got a churro. You know what I'm saying?
We have a local flea market that takes place every Tuesday, and for the most part, you usually get pretty good stuff over there. It's hit or miss sometimes. Sometimes you see a lot of same vendors. Sometimes like you'll run into box games. Sometimes you run into commons. It's hit or miss, very hit or miss. But regardless, it's something that you want to go to because you never know what you're going to see, and it's always a good time.
Just the boxes?
Yeah, just the box.
I want the same price for that one.
Ooh, Ninja Gaiden. I actually ran into a box Ninja Gaiden on the NES, which is one of my favorite childhood games. I used to have a big Nintendo arcade machine with it on there. The guy had it there, and he was asking. There's a sticker that said 25 bucks, and I was really thinking about it. And I went back to him and talked to him about it. He said, "Oh, actually, I'm asking 35 for it." And he said the only reason he didn't remove the stickers because it probably damaged the box. So, kind of a bummer.
So the majority of us are just college guys. We got into it together about a year or so ago. And mostly what we would try to do is just go to flea markets, thrift shops in town, stuff like that. Just try and mostly recollect a lot of our stuff. This here is Nick's stuff, but mostly the stuff I like to collect are RPGs. I like the Game Boy Advance, like the Game Boy Color a lot. I'm going mostly for an in-box Pokemon collection, which is getting really close, but it's getting harder since the games are getting more expensive. So we're at this toy guy, and they got a bunch of stuff laying out, and I spot myself Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon. I'm thinking, damn, I really want that. Do I need Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon? I kind of think I do.
You thinking about it?
Yeah, I kind of actually really want it. It's so badass. But it kind of came to a point where I was like, do I really need a Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon toy in my room? I already have enough. I don't need to start collecting dragon toys, you know what I'm saying? Hey, that's badass, I'm sorry. So I see this stack of computer games, and I take it upon myself to egg Leo on to buy it, and the seller's walking around the whole time, and he sees us looking at the games, and he's just like, oh, you looking at those computer games? And I was like, yeah, my friend Leo here is interested. He wants all of them. He was like, tell you what, man, 2 for $1. And I know Leo was just looking at them to be ironic. And then I was like, what'd you do for all of them? And Leo was just giving me this glare like he wanted to beat me up right then and there.
I don't need all this though. I don't have enough space for all this.
$2 for the whole thing right here now.
$2 for that lot.
$1, $1, $1.
Hey.
All right, you have a good day.
Thank you.
I'm looking at those puppets, and you just straight up go to the guy and you're like, hey, this guy wants to buy those games from you, and then at some point you're like, hey, what about all the games? How much would you do for all of them? Hey, puppet's a good little ironic thing, so hey, $2, I can't complain. I got my money back. I sold it back. I jabbed you in the side as soon as we left that place.
Hey, you get your turn to record right now. Shit.
Yeah. Didn't come out with anything that I really wanted, but I could sell every game except these putt ones and probably make my money back, so that's always good.
All right, so I'm about to learn you boys a little something special for Led Zeppelin. I don't know. So I didn't find any video games today at the flea market. Go figure. But I found my favorite Led Zeppelin album on vinyl. It was pretty cool. The guy had Houses of the Holy, and he was telling me how he saw them live in 1978. I got super jealous. The album was the first pressing too, and it was really clean, so scoop that.
I'm Leo. I've been gaming most of my life ever since I was a kid. Started off on the NES, eventually got a Sega Genesis. As far as my favorite system to collect for, I would probably say Sega Genesis and Game Boy Advance. Favorite types of genres, beat 'em ups, platformers, definitely RPGs. I love RPGs.
All right, we're on our way to a little thrift shop we go to here in town. It's called Vintage Thrift.
Whenever we have time, we try to stop by Vintage Thrift since, in my opinion, and probably everybody would agree with me, it's the best thrift shop that we got in town. Very low prices, lots of items, toys, video games, and negotiable. People there are really friendly.
So how did you make your money back from all those video games you didn't want?
You know, it's a funny thing because even though he did kind of egg me on, he did bring up a good point. That stack, best case scenario, I could sell it back, make a profit. Worst case, I could get my $2 back one way or another. So we ended up going to Vintage Thrift. Upon going there, the very first thing I do is I go up in there with that stack. I ask the guy, would you do $15 for all this? And he's like, no, honestly, dude, we don't make much of a profit with computer games. Nobody comes in here to buy that. I tell him, what about $5? That's still really cheap. Would you do that? No, I'm still not down for that. Then I do the whole pity thing. Would you do $2 for all this? I'm just trying to get rid of these. He has this look of regret, but at the same time, he's feeling sorry. He goes, all right, I'll give you the $2 for it.
Hey.
$2.
And like that, made my money back.
You're not a real Star Wars collector until you get yourself that Obama lightsaber.
Oh, that Obama exclusive.
Oh yeah.
Got all these games. Collecting games has been something I just barely started, but as far as collecting in general goes, I'd say I started about 2008, 2009 with CDs. Right now I have about, I last count 222 CDs, so hey, maybe my game collection will be like that someday.
We didn't end up finding anything at Vintage Thrift this time around, but at least Leo got to sell his stuff back and make his money back. So we're just gonna go on our way to Miranda's now. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing David, the Portuguese man himself, the fisherman, Dragon Ball Z fan #1. All right, we're pulling up to Miranda's.
Stars.
Hopefully we get some luck this time. This is actually a really tight game.
Gambling?
You should get that, Nick.
Hey, Nick, check it
Do you
out.
have that one?
John Madden football.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, John Madden football. Now this is a great game, though. I used to play a lot.
Play action football. Dude, get all the football games.
Oh, get all them football games.
NFL quarterback club.
Complete in box, Super Nintendo.
Hey, you want Steve Young on the cover, dude?
A complete in box Super Nintendo. Yeah.
Leo,
$8.
you could say I just found a really rare game considering it didn't even come out in America.
Oh, you mean the one that you were gonna buy, then you got all sad about when you found out that it was just a case?
Box. This wasn't even close.
That's that fire.
Dang, someone sold their chipmunk collection. You gonna start your vinyl collection with the chipmunks?
Yeah.
I already got a vinyl, well, not a collection, but I do have a start.
I kinda do want these monkeys.
Seriously?
Maybe.
The Beach
Ooh,
Boys.
The birds, the bees, the monkeys.
These are pretty good ones. Oh, more chipmunks.
Dude, someone sold their entire Chipmunks collection.
I do kind of want that.
Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Yeah, I do kind of want this. So we're here at Miranda's, and I'm looking through the records again, thinking I'll find something I'll like the Led Zeppelin. And I run into Earth, Wind, and Fire, and it had one of my favorite tracks on it, Fantasy. But the disc was really scratched up, so I ended up passing on it.
Oh, that's pretty scratched, though.
You think this is a putback for $3? I think it's good, but this is terrible condition.
It is. I'd say just wait on it.
I'd wait on it too, honestly.
So hey, I'm David. Just always a fan of Dragon Ball Z since I was, I don't know, probably like 5 or 4. And just since then, just always Dragon Ball Z, you know? Like, I'll buy the games. Like, I only have console, I don't have like laptop or anything like that. But, like, right now I got PlayStation 4, so I'm sticking with Xenoverse. But it's not that great like Budokai. Like, Budokai 1 was probably the best one for me back on PS2. They told me about Dragon Ball Z figures and how this thrift shop just had so many of them, and I was like, alright, so I gotta go there.
That's dope, dude.
Yeah, that one looks sick. Like that.
Those would look sick next to each other, yeah.
Dude, can I see that silver one again from earlier?
What you thinking?
I don't know, bro.
When I went over, I noticed that Isaac and Nick and Leo, they're all telling me about all these figures, and I decided to buy all 5 of these. Because the other ones were kind of like, I don't know, morphed out or whatever. Probably my favorite's probably going to be Brawly or Super Saiyan Goku.
I'll just get all the 5 of them.
A good purchase, David.
Thanks.
Hey, get one of them a little WWE belt, dude.
That's sick.
Nick and Leo just snagged some must-have video games for their collection, while Isaac scored a Led Zeppelin record and a Spider-Man comic. David, he grabbed a few Dragon Ball figures. Who had the best haul? Let us know in the comments.
Look, I'm gonna level with you. You like Sam, right? We all like Sam around here. Around these parts, Sam's our guy. Thing is, that guy, he busts us for these edits. And you don't watch, you don't get to eat. You don't get to eat, you die. So what do you gotta do, Isaac?
What are you doing? Push the button, it's right there, and then also click on the one with the thumbs up. Actually, even if you push the thumbs down, as long as you subscribe, I don't care.
Or else, Sam gets it. I need to eat, guys.
We hope you find much enjoyment and give us the subscribe number.